I've been fortunate to have the opportunity to travel the country to teach about beard care, beard grooming, and just overall beard science at barber expos and barber schools. Some of them I've even filmed, and you can find them right here on YouTube. And I wanted to take a second to make a video going over what I personally wish barbershop schools covered when it came to beards. Now, I do need to preface this video by saying I am not a licensed barber. I did not go to barber school. However, I have a ridiculous sample size of talking to barbers, about teaching beard care to barbers, friends that are barbers. It's really what I do for a living. And I have another side that gives me an interesting perspective on all this. I was a teacher for 12 years. I do have a master's degree in administration, and even more importantly, I have a second master's degree in curriculum development. I deeply understand what it's like to develop a course of curriculum for any kind of school. And with barbershops and barber schools, I really wish about beards they taught anything. Now, as crazy as that is to say and sound, most barber schools do not teach about beard care. If they do, it's a blip on the radar and something that's just caught up in the day that's not remembered. And I will say mileage will vary, as always with anything. Some schools are going to be better than others. However, the mass majority of feedback that I get from barbers is that it's never covered. If they are good with beards, they did their own research. They have their own instincts. They have experience from practicing and learning and watching YouTube videos. Can't tell you how many barbers have found my channel by searching for beard information about trimming, about care. So I'm going to dive in and tell you guys just the couple key things that I really wish barbers would know, because man, it makes a difference for beards. And who's gonna fall in this situation? If barbers are more knowledgeable, they're gonna have a better customer base and make more money. Customers are gonna be happier and more confident, come back more often. It's a win-all for everyone, and even the economy benefits. First, I'm gonna introduce myself, and then I'll get into the teaching. My name is Dancy Bearded, and I have not said this in a very long time, but you'll usually see it in the comments. A lot of my subscribers have given me the nickname, the trusted teacher for all things beard related, because I've been making videos just like this for almost 6 years now, and I love it. If you're interested in this topic, give me a chance, hit that thumbs up right now. If you don't mind, you can come back and change it if you feel differently, but just leave a comment down below. And if you do like learning about the science of beards, consider subscribing after you check out the other videos and the live streams and everything I have to offer on this channel. Thank you to those returning subscribers. The first thing I want to talk about that I wish barbers were taught in barber school, and again, a lot of barbers know this information, but it's usually on their own. If you're going to school, let's learn it anyway. Number one would be the sebum oil levels. Your head hair oftentimes is going to produce 3 to 5 times more sebum oil than your beard. You have 3 to 5 times more sebaceous glands on your head hair than you do on your beard. That's a huge factor, right? The best test that I've talked about many times on this channel is go a week without showering. If you have head hair, let me know your experience. Please don't do this, but think about it. What's gonna happen? Your head hair is likely gonna be a greasy mess just after a couple of days. Your beard is likely gonna be a dry, brittle bird's nest that's terribly not enjoyable after just a couple of days as well. As the week goes on, it's probably worse and worse. Now, there are exceptions out there, of course. There are some people that don't have greasy head hair. There are some people that don't have dry beards. Rock on, you guys are awesome. This is just going over general information. So why should barbers know this? Because it affects the type of products that they're using. There are products you can use on head hair that's not nearly as impactful as using on a beard. For example, silicone is very common with head hair because they don't really need to treat the skin as much because that oil, that lubrication is coming from the source. On our beard, we do need to get down to the source of that oil, the skin. And if we're not getting enough sebaceous oil that's coming out of those glands, right, it's gonna be leaching down the beard, leaving this dry, brittle beard drift. We need to replace it. That's important to understand those differences. Another one, maybe the biggest thing of all time, the neckline and transparency with beards. How many horror stories have you yourself heard about guys going to the barber and they jack that neckline all the way up to the jaw, or even worse, under the jaw, or even worse, above the jaw? It's a bad situation. Number one, it doesn't look good. Straight up doesn't look better, for my opinion, and a lot of yours. Number two, if you do have a goal of growing your beard longer, you are sacrificing all density and creating all transparency by removing those supporting hairs that are on your neck. You need those hairs to keep it dense, to keep it full. And to kind of button that up, I did say kind of twice there, but to button that up and bring the whole idea together, you should be trimming a beard based on their goals. Really dive into the goals. A huge thing that a lot of guys is they go into the barber, they don't know the lingo, they don't know what they're saying. They're like, give me a cleanup, give me a little shape up around the side. And that leads me to our next one with barbers. Oftentimes, a lot of barbers value their work based on clippings on the floor, based on how much they take off. That if you go in with a beard and you're like, I just want a tiny little transparency trim for my nice weekend ahead, my beard competition ahead, and if they take off just, let's say, 1/8 of an inch, they're gonna be like, oh man, I didn't do any work here. You're not gonna be happy. No. Less is more in many cases in that type of situation. Please listen to them. Don't value your trim based on how much you take off. Listen to what they're going for. Now, if you're not sure, if you're like, oh man, we're on 2 different pages with lingo and expectations, ask for pictures. Ask for videos. That is huge. Now, I know that's a concept known in barber schools, but with beards, it just seems to be rushed. I'm not quite sure why that is, but everything goes higher. Everything goes shorter, and I just get these horror stories from people. And then on the same kind of concept, what about maintenance? There's a lot of aspects with head hair that you don't think as much about maintenance because they just do it every couple of weeks. If you're gonna maintain your cheek lines, if you have dark hair and those cheek line hairs are going up above to your eyebrows or to your eyeballs, that maintenance needs to be daily. You need to tell them that. If you're going in with a crispy little straight razor, you need to let them know, hey, those roots are gonna be coming back in. Do you want this daily maintenance? No? Okay, let's do a little fade. Let's blend your cheeks into your cheek hairs into your cheeks. There's a lot of methods you can do that's so unique to the beard, they just don't cover them in barber school. I could go on forever about the differences of beard care, beard trimming, as compared to head hair care and head hair trimming, cutting, whatever the terminology you want to use there, but those are some of the biggest ones. And this is just getting that conversation started. I might turn this into a series into the future, as long as there's good feedback and good numbers and there's a lot of value for barbers out there or consumers that are going to barbers. This could be valuable for them as well. We'll see where this goes, but I wanted to cover that. Sebum oil levels, transparency and neckline. What about cheek line maintenance? And then overall the concept, less is more. Don't value your trim based on how much you take off. Woo! Now, down below, you guys, with your experiences of going to barbers, what are things that you wish they knew? What are adjustments you wish they took when it came to beard care and beard trimming and beard knowledge? Because when it comes down to it, a lot of people associate barbers with beard experts. Why? Because they deal with hair for a living. They must know everything about a beard. And that's just not the case unless that barber goes above and beyond, which a lot of you do. Shout out to you amazing barbers. I could make a huge list of some of my favorite barbers, but you guys know who you are out there. So please, down below, your experiences, your thoughts, and especially your questions. Are you just curious about barber school? Are you curious about the expos that I go to? Let me know down below. You guys can't wait to read. Thank you for watching today. Dancy Bearded. I love this stuff so much, you guys. Thank you for giving me a platform to be able to just spew this information and get it out of my head. It really is therapeutic for me. I hope that you guys today and every day stay bearded and stay positive.